Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you my top 4 budget beginner tools that are absolutely necessary, and I personally wish that I would have bought them sooner. You are probably new to my channel, so hello, my name is Marco. This is my channel Buildable. I started woodworking 3 years ago with the tools of my dad, who was firm on building everything himself for the least amount of money. He actually was a metalworker, so there wasn't a lot of woodworking tools around. I personally don't have the budget to fill my workshop with Festool tools, so you are getting an honest opinion on which tools really matter. There's also going to be an honorable mention at the end, which most people actually don't think of. Starting with the 4th place, we have the biscuit jointer. This tool is an absolute game changer. When I started woodworking, I assembled everything with dowels. I didn't even have a dowel jig or something. Aligning all these holes took a lot of effort and skill that I simply didn't have. This thing erases all the pain and struggles that I had with that, because all you need to do is draw a simple line and then you can align everything with the tool. It does the job, and these biscuits actually are very, very useful for all kinds of stuff. You can connect wood in a lot of different angles. It's good for making cabinets. It's good for building tabletops. There's just a lot of use cases for it, and the time you save with having one of these tools around is absolutely worth 40 to 50 euros that I paid back then. For comparison, the absolute industry standard would be the Festool Domino, which does the same job but a little bit different. The biggest difference between those two tools is the price, which for the Festool would be 1,600 euros. Which is a lot for a beginner and still a lot for me. I'm sticking with my biscuit jointer. It does the same job and it never let me down. Because I have a budget-friendly channel overall. The next tool is important when it comes to leftovers, recycling and saving material costs in general. And a lot of people might find it weird that I associate that with this tool, but I am talking about the planer. I did a lot of research on this topic and I decided to go with a bench top planer. They are not only comparably cheap, but for me with my small shop, actually the only option. I paid around 450 euros for the Metabo bench top planer and not a single euro was wasted. This thing not only does its job as a planer very well, which I will come to, but it also helps me making all kinds of materials usable again. For example, I have this beech door. This is solid beech wood, but it has a clear coat on it, and if you want to reuse it in different projects, obviously first you have to remove it. And sanding it off would not only cost a lot of sandpaper, but would also take a lot of time. The planer is very good in removing a thin layer of material, which in this case would include the paint, and uncover the beautiful real wood underneath. It also helps with weathered material. We all have seen Moldy Curls palette videos, and this is actually what I use my planer for the most. Of course, the main purpose of the tool is to make bent and uneven wood even again, but for that you would also need a jointer. Of course, there are jointing jigs for planer, maybe you've heard of them. I've used them as well because I don't have the space for a jointer. And to be honest, I had 2 or 3 projects where I actually use it for planing stuff, but using it for cleaning stuff is actually the main purpose that it has in my shop. On 2nd place, we have my beloved orbital sander. With 190 euros, this might sound a lot for a sander. I can tell you it was absolutely worth it. When it comes to woodworking, I think sanding is the most boring part of it, and I actually dread it. Back then, I bought myself a sander for 20 euros, which is this one. And as you can tell, it lasted for 2 months before it broke. And this was a new one. It wasn't used or anything. It lasted exactly 2 months and broke down. I called the company. They sent me a second one, which actually survived 2 months before it broke down. So I accepted defeat, let them have my 20 euros and bought this one. This is actually a copy of a very, very expensive sander, which is the Mirka Orbital sander. I will put a picture in the video. You can tell they've had some inspiration with this product. 190 euros is a lot of money for a beginner sander, so you can expect very good quality from this machine. And to be honest, I think this might be the best money to benefit ratio on this list. It saves so much time, especially when you buy good sandpaper for it. It improved my quality overall because I could actually get to a 220 grit sandpaper before giving up. And I have not been easy on this one. I do every type of sanding with this machine and I have it for roughly 2 years now. And on number 1, the undefeated winner is going to be my track saw. this thing is not only a problem solver, it also could be your one and only saw. If you buy one, don't buy a table saw or a miter saw. With a track saw and a little bit of setup, you can actually make every cut. It's not only the most versatile tool, you are going to have a great time using it. It's accurate, precise, it does its job, and you can count on it. And while using it, it actually makes so much fun. This feels like proper woodworking. I actually tested a way cheaper variant of a track saw and it didn't convince me at all. These types of tools run on tolerances. The tolerances that the saw itself has on the track. The tolerance of the whole body moving up and down. So it is very important that these types of tools are accurate, and with known brands you can usually save yourself a lot of headache when they just do what you want them to do. And a tip in general for budget tools, my experience with very cheap tools is not very good. They usually have a lot of power and good numbers, but they are not accurate. And if I tilt this saw to 45 degrees, I know it is 45 degrees. With all the cheap alternatives, I can't be that sure. And I was building a box once and thought, well, I just put the saw on 45 degrees. It didn't cut 45 degrees. Putting together a box in random angles just doesn't work. And these type of tools, you can just shut off your brain, put it on 45 degrees, do what you want to do and count on it. I bought this one for around
280 euros
with the track. And for comparison, the Festool equivalent would cost around 600 euros. This is definitely the budget version. And as I said, this is a very precise machine and I'm more than satisfied with it. And these were my top 4 budget-friendly workshop upgrades, but there is an honorable mention. And every time I turn on one of the tools that I showed you already, there is a second one running in the background, and this is the vacuum. I bought this one for 90 euros, and as I said, this is basically constantly running when I'm using electric tools. It's also very nice for my small workshop because I can plug the tools in to the vacuum and it will automatically start when I start up the tools, which is one thing I don't have to worry about when working in my workshop. I would say this was an absolute necessary upgrade and I would recommend it to you as well, because dust collection in beginner tools is usually not very good, but if you don't hook up a vacuum to it, you don't have any at all. And to be honest, I am struggling with dust collection in my shop because I don't have professional tools, but having a vacuum that turns on automatically when I start the tool is an absolute game changer. Okay, that was it. That was my top 5 tools. Thank you all for watching. I am planning a top 5 workshop jigs that I've built. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.